Welcome back to Grammar Grade 7. This is Unit 12, Lesson 70, and we're staying in our unit on punctuation. Today we meet two marks that look a little alike, but do very different jobs, the semicolon and the colon. One of them joins two complete thoughts into a single sentence. The other announces that a list is on the way. By the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly when to reach for each one. Let's get started. Before we dig in, here's the big picture. Today we meet two punctuation marks that look a little alike, but do very different jobs. First, the semicolon, which joins two main clauses, two complete thoughts, without a conjunction. Second, the colon, which introduces a list after a full sentence. The colon has a couple of smaller jobs too. It marks the time of day, and it follows the greeting in a business letter. Think of it this way. The semicolon joins, and the colon announces what's coming next. Let's take them one at a time. Let's meet the semicolon first. A semicolon joins two main clauses that are closely related in meaning, and it does so without any conjunction between them. Watch this. The rain fell, the game stopped. Pull that apart and you find two complete sentences hiding inside. The rain fell is a main clause that could stand alone. The game stopped is a main clause too. The semicolon links them like a soft period, quieter than a full stop, but firmer than a comma. Each half could stand alone, yet the semicolon keeps their linked ideas together in one sentence. The semicolon has a second handy use. You can place it before a connecting word, like however or therefore, one of those words that joins two full ideas. Here's how it looks. It rained, therefore we stayed in. Listen to the rhythm. A semicolon comes before the word therefore, and then a comma comes right after it. Words like however, moreover, and thus all follow the same pattern. Semicolon before, comma after. And notice, each side is still a complete main clause, so the semicolon is doing its usual job, joining two full sentences. Now let's turn to the colon. A colon introduces a list, and it signals to your reader, here comes a list. But there's one rule that matters most, so listen closely. A full sentence must come before the colon. Look at this example. Bring these items, a pen, paper, and glue. The words in front of the colon, bring these items, form a complete sentence on their own. Then the colon announces the list that follows. You'll often spot words like the following or these right before a colon, and that's your cue that a list is coming. Here's the mistake to avoid, and it's a common one. Don't drop a colon in right after a verb or a preposition. Look at this. Bring, a pen, paper, glue. That's wrong because the colon sits right after the verb bring, and bring by itself is not a complete sentence. The fix is easy. Give the colon a full sentence to follow. Bring the following, a pen, paper, glue. Now the words the following complete the sentence before the colon, so the list is introduced correctly. The test is simple. Cover the list, and what comes before the colon should still read as a whole sentence. The colon has two more everyday jobs worth knowing. First, it separates the hour from the minute when you write the time. When you write 3:45, you put a colon between the 3 and the 45, like this. That little colon keeps the hour and the minute clearly apart. Second, a colon follows the greeting, or salutation, in a business letter. When you open a formal letter, you write, "Dear Ms. Lopez," and then a colon, not a comma. That colon gives the greeting a formal, business-like tone before the letter begins. Let's pull it all together into a quick check. Ask yourself these questions. 1. Are you joining two main clauses, two complete thoughts, with no conjunction between them? If so, reach for a semicolon. 2. Are you introducing a list, and does a full sentence come first? If so, use a colon. 3. Are you writing a time of day or the greeting of a business letter? That's a colon as well. The heart of it never changes. The semicolon joins two sentences, and the colon announces what's coming next. Ready to practice a few together? Time to practice. In this first set, I'll show a sentence that's missing one mark, and you decide whether it needs a semicolon or a colon. Pause the video and think it through before I reveal each answer. The power went out. We lit some candles. Look at both sides. The power went out is a complete sentence, and we lit some candles is a complete sentence too. Two main clauses, no conjunction between them. That calls for a semicolon. So the answer is the semicolon. Pack these things: sunscreen, a towel, and water. The words before the mark, pack these things, form a complete sentence, and a list follows right after. When a full sentence introduces a list, you use a colon, so the answer is the colon. The bus was late, therefore we missed the opening. Notice the connecting word therefore, joining two full ideas. A connecting word like therefore takes a semicolon before it and a comma after it, so the answer is the semicolon. In this second set, each sentence uses a semicolon or a colon, and your job is to decide whether it's correct. Watch for the colon trap. The words before a colon must form a complete sentence. Pause and choose before I answer. My favorite subjects are math, art, and science. Careful here. The colon lands right after the verb are, and my favorite subjects are is not a complete sentence by itself. A colon needs a full sentence in front of it, so this one is incorrect. So the answer is incorrect. The sky cleared. The birds began to sing. Check both halves. The sky cleared stands alone, and the birds began to sing stands alone. Two main clauses joined by a semicolon, with no conjunction. That's exactly right, so the answer is correct. Meet me at 3:30 for these reasons: rehearsal and pizza. There are two colons here, and both are doing real jobs. The first colon separates the hour and the minute in the time, 3:30. The second colon follows a complete sentence and introduces a list. Both are used correctly, so the answer is correct. Let's gather up what we learned. A semicolon joins two closely related main clauses without a conjunction, working like a soft period. And it also comes before a connecting word, like however or therefore. A colon introduces a list, but only after a complete sentence, so never drop it right after a verb or a preposition. And the colon has two more jobs. It separates the hour from the minute in a time, and it follows the greeting in a business letter. Remember the heart of it. The semicolon joins two sentences, and the colon announces what comes next. Wonderful work today. I'll see you in the next lesson.